You guys, you don't need me in this one? Here's Johnny! What's going on, everybody? Jared here with another sequel of a movie review, and I thought it was nice to wear this nice shirt and whatnot as Jack Torrance, because I was able to get an early screening of a movie coming out next week starring Ewan McGregor, and it's a follow-up, Dr. Sleep. A traumatized Danny Torrance meets an unlikely partner who also shares the shine, all while an evil cult is after their gift. So is Dr. Sleep a wonderful follow-up to The Shining? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of Dr. Sleep, if you were able to check this one out, or were you absolutely pissed that they didn't even touch on sleep apnea. Now let's get into some of the good. Starting right off the bat, I think the aesthetic, the style, the design, the almost paying homage to The Shining is one of the main things that instantly jumped out of Dr. Sleep for myself. And actually, I think it's because I watched The Shining probably like an hour before I went into this movie, which I'm going to recommend. If you're going to go out and check out Dr. Sleep, definitely watch The Shining within a week before, so it's fresh in your mind, because this very much plays into events from The Shining. There's almost flashback type things. There's the aesthetic. Again, we go back to the Overlook Hotel. But I loved how not only was there imagery from The Shining that was also in this movie, but the way it was almost framed and the way it was shot, it felt like you probably would watch The Shining and then boom, you go right into this movie. And like I mentioned, there's little tidbits here or there that pay homage to The Shining, Kubrick's work, everything that he did in that movie. So I love that aspect of Dr. Sleep. And once we get into the movie, I think the story, just almost the lore, everything that is set up and expanded upon from The Shining into Dr. Sleep. Obviously, Stephen King, coming from a Stephen King novel, it's a good 500-ish page novel. There's a lot in there, so I gotta give a tip of the hat and a lot of work to him, but also I gotta give a lot of credit to the film crew and director and cinematographer and everyone that was able to bring the page to life in this movie. The Shining is, you can all agree that it's more of a horror, psychological horror film. This one, Dr. Sleep, felt like it was a mixture of sci-fi, fantasy, with horror elements in there. Very much, there was several scenes where I was super excited for. I was like, man, that is awesome. But then there was also scenes that I was very much frightened and almost peed my pants, because I don't do horror that well. I liked how it was a different mix than The Shining, but also, again, like I mentioned, paying homage to it. Especially how they expanded upon The Shining. That's shy, not shining, and I'm pretty sure I already used that joke. But yeah, expanding upon The Shining and the ability and the use of it, it almost made it into this weird superpower, which, again, fits into today's almost world with superhero movies and stuff. So I liked it. And the performances from pretty much everyone in this movie were solid. I mean, the top three, or the main three in this movie, are Rebecca Ferguson, Ewan McGregor, and I think hold on a sec, Kyliegh Curran, I believe, as the young little girl. They all, they're the main three of this movie, and they play well off of each other. They turn in a great performance themselves. Ewan McGregor is very much this alcoholic, down on his luck, reluctant to do what he's essentially made to do, and then Kylie, as the young girl, is very much determined. She wants to make a change, and I loved kind of her different story beats in the movie. And Rebecca Ferguson turns in this almost, I wouldn't say completely sinister role, but very dark, has her own agenda, and the three of them worked very well off of each other. However, there are a couple negatives I found myself kind of latching onto in Dr. Sleep, one of which is being the thick runtime in this movie. There's a handful of scenes here or there that I just felt like weren't necessary, so you could have cut down on the overall movie. But then again, it kind of almost falls down to the novel. The novel is about 531 pages, so there's a lot of material and a lot of different scenarios and backstory and little tiny story beats that they wanted to set up in this movie, and I appreciate what they did setting up. They set up a lot, I will give them that, but I think that they almost got too into the details of putting in certain scenes to elaborate. especially in the middle. There's a few dull drags here or there, so I feel like kind of just cutting down on the runtime would have helped. And this is a tough one because I'm going to have to be super vague, but portrayals of certain characters felt a little off. I'm going to leave it at that. Overall, Dr. Sleep is a wonderful sequel to The Shining while also paying homage, with it feeling right at home with the style and aesthetic being this great sequel to The Shining, the story beats and all of the cool sci-fi, almost horror elements in there, and then some great performances, but with it being a little bit long in the tooth and some portrayals not adding up. I'd recommend checking out Dr. Sleep. I mean, if you're a fan of The Shining, you're going to adore this film. It's going to be great, especially I'm sure if you've read the book, it's probably going to add to your enjoyment, but definitely watch The Shining before going into this one. In closing, I'm going to give Dr. Sleep 3.4 out of 5 evil twins. So what did you guys think of Dr. Sleep if you were able to check it out? I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there, you know, movie reviews, trailer reactions, fun comedy skits. There's going to be a lot of movie reviews this weekend. I was looking at my calendar. I'm not getting any sleep. Follow all of my social media down there. Click that subscribe button. It seriously helps me out. And comment and share out. Thank you so much. I'll see you later.